Buckle up, Bronco Nation. We're about to dive into 10 facts about your beloved team that will astonish you. From the untold story of John Elway's time in Denver to the near move that could have taken the Broncos out of Colorado, we've got surprises at every turn. And don't forget the Broncos' 3 Super Bowl wins. We're revealing details you've never heard before. So stick around till the end. You won't believe our number 1 pick. Number 10. John Elway, New York Yankees. John Elway isn't just a Bronco football legend. Did you know he was also a pretty darn good baseball player? Elway was drafted by the New York Yankees in the second round of the 1981 MLB Draft. Yeah, the New York Yankees, one of baseball's most iconic teams ever. He even played one summer of minor league baseball for the Oneonta Yankees. In 42 games, Elway showcased his talent by hitting .318, slugging 4 home runs and driving in 25 runs. Some say he even had the potential to be a 2-sport star like Bo Jackson. But football called him back, and well, the rest is history. History that includes 2 Super Bowls and a Hall of Fame career. Number 9. Los Angeles Broncos? Almost. Imagine a world where the Denver Broncos, the orange and blue heart of Colorado, would have been playing somewhere else. It sounds like a nightmare for any Broncos fan, right? Back in the late 90s, this almost became a reality. Owner Pat Bowlen was grappling with the limitations of the old Mile High Stadium. It wasn't up to par with the newer, fancier NFL stadiums, so he started exploring options to either build a new stadium in Denver or move the team. Cities like Los Angeles were on the radar, and the thought of the Broncos leaving sent chills down the spines of fans. Thankfully, Denver voters approved funds for a new stadium in a 1998 election. And just like that, the Broncos stayed put, becoming the centerpiece of the newly built Empower Field at Mile High. Number 8. Real altitude. You've heard it a million times. Mile High Stadium, the home of the Denver Broncos, is a mile above sea level. But how accurate is that? Well, get this. The elevation of the original Mile High Stadium was precisely 5,280 feet. That's exactly 1 mile, folks. When they constructed Empower Field at Mile High, the designers made sure to honor this legacy. They placed a row of purple seats exactly 1 mile above sea level. The elevation gives the Broncos a unique home field advantage. At that altitude, the air is thinner, making it harder for opponents to catch their breath. It's no coincidence that Denver has one of the best home records in NFL history. So next time someone questions the Mile High in Mile High Stadium, you've got the facts to set them straight. Number 7. Mile High icon. Bucky the Bronco isn't just a statue. He's a symbol, an icon that unites generations of Denver fans. But did you know that Bucky is actually modeled after Trigger, the horse of none other than the king of cowboys, Roy Rogers? Standing 30 feet tall, the majestic figure proudly oversees every game from atop the main scoreboard. When the team moved from the original Mile High to Empower Field, there was no question. Bucky had to come along. It's more than nostalgia. It's about keeping a piece of the team's soul alive. Here's another tidbit. There's a second Bucky statue located outside the Broncos' training facility in Inglewood. Next time you're at or watching a game on TV, give a nod to Bucky. He's been watching over the Broncos and their fans for decades, a silent guardian of Mile High traditions. Number 6. 3 Amigos. Broncos fans of a certain age will never forget the 3 Amigos: Vance Johnson, Mark Jackson, and Ricky Nattiel. This dynamic trio of wide receivers were instrumental in the Broncos' Super Bowl runs during the late 80s. All 3 were drafted by the Broncos and began their NFL careers in Denver. Johnson was picked in the second round of the 1985 NFL Draft, Jackson in the 6th round of the 1986 Draft, and Nattiel in the 1st round of the 1987 Draft. While each had their individual flair, Together they formed a synergistic unit that baffled defenses and electrified fans. Vance Johnson led the group with 4,955 receiving yards over that period. But what made the three Amigos truly special was their chemistry. The trio's unique ability to read each other on the field turned broken plays into big gains, and their knack for clutch performances elevated them from players to legends in the eyes of Broncos fans. Number 5. The Architects of Victory, Dan Reeves and Mike Shanahan. Dan Reeves and Mike Shanahan are legendary names in the Mile High City, but there's more to their stories than the Super Bowl appearances and wins. Reeves is the winningest coach in Broncos history, but did you know he played for the Dallas Cowboys? He was an undrafted free agent who became a respected running back, giving him a unique player-coach perspective that very few have. Switching gears to Shanahan, everyone remembers the back-to-back Super Bowls. But how about this? He started his NFL coaching career as an offensive coordinator for the Broncos under Dan Reeves. After being let go, Shanahan had a short stint with the Raiders, was fired, and then returned to Denver. His firing from the Raiders turned into Denver's gain, leading to 2 championships. Number 4. A game forever etched in time. On September 10, 2001, the Denver Broncos inaugurated their new stadium in Vesco Field at Mile High with a Monday Night Football game against the New York Giants. This game, filled with anticipation and excitement for Broncos fans, took on a far deeper meaning in the annals of history. The very next day, the United States would face the tragic events of September 11th, which halted the NFL season until September 23rd. The Broncos won the game 31-20, but those numbers soon seemed insignificant as the nation faced an unprecedented crisis. The Broncos-Giants matchup stands out as not just the inaugural game in a new stadium, but also as the last moment of normalcy in the sports world before the enormity of real-world events took over. It's a game that, given its timing, will forever be a part of not just Broncos history, but American history. Number 3. The legend you thought you knew. John Elway is obviously a name synonymous with Broncos greatness. While you may know about his Super Bowl wins and the drive, did you know that Elway holds the unique distinction of having the most fourth-quarter comebacks in NFL history? 47 come-from-behind victories, a stat that underlines the gritty resilience that defined his career. But let's talk about a moment that sums up Elway's relentless will to win: the helicopter play. In Super Bowl 32 against the Green Bay Packers, 37-year-old Elway took off on a 3rd and 6 and met 2 defenders in the air, spinning like a helicopter. He was hit so hard he lifted off the ground, but he gained the first down. That play encapsulates the spirit of John Elway, a man willing to put his body on the line for a win. The Broncos would go on to win the game, giving Elway his first Super Bowl title. Number 2. The Sheriff's Hidden Tales. Peyton Manning, the Sheriff, came to Denver and became an instant fan favorite. You might recall his record-shattering 2013 season when he threw for 55 touchdowns. But did you know Manning is the only quarterback to lead 2 different teams to 50-plus regular season wins? His meticulous preparation was legendary. Manning would even quiz equipment managers on opponent tendencies, illustrating his devotion to the smallest details. Manning wasn't just a pocket passer. In a 2013 game against the Cowboys, Manning surprised everyone with a bootleg run for a touchdown, jogging into the end zone untouched. Teammates later revealed that he'd been lobbying to include that play for weeks, displaying his tactical thinking and drive to be unpredictable. This unscripted side of Manning added another layer to his already multifaceted role with the Broncos. Number 1. Super Bowl Triple Crown. The Broncos have had their share of glory, capturing the Vince Lombardi Trophy 3 times, each with its own unique story. In Super Bowl 32 against the Green Bay Packers, most people remember Terrell Davis's MVP performance. But did you know he was actually suffering from migraines and even sat out the second quarter? His return was crucial for the Broncos to seal their 31-24 win. Fast forward to Super Bowl 33, and the Broncos were facing the Atlanta Falcons and former Broncos head coach Dan Reeves. What's not often mentioned is that kicker Jason Elam was mic'd up during the game. He captured candid moments on the sidelines, offering a unique perspective on the game's dynamics. And then, of course, there's Super Bowl 50. It's known for Von Miller's MVP performance and Peyton Manning's swan song. But a lesser-known fact is that the Broncos defensive coordinator Wade Phillips had implemented a game plan that had never been used before against the Panthers, disrupting their offense and paving the way for a 24-10 win. There you have it, folks, a deep dive into the storied gridiron history of the Denver Broncos, a team that's given us legends, nail-biting moments, and championships to last a lifetime. But the game's never over in the Mile High City, and the best is yet to come. Now, if you found yourself entranced by tales of Elway's audacity, the genius of coaches past and present, or the sheer willpower that won Super Bowls, then don't be a bench warmer. Join the team. Smash that like button harder than Von Miller hits quarterbacks. Share this video with your football crew because true fans share the love. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another play right here on Kickoff Zone. Let's keep the Broncos spirit alive, one click at a time. Stay amped, Orange Nation, and let's hear that Rocky Mountain Thunder.